Bieber turned 15, and it suddenly seemed that Hollywood was keen to almost initiate him. I think that's the right word. Like there was almost like this initiation that he needed to go through. So I want you to be now super uncomfortable and watch this video of an interaction between him and none other than Diddy. Take a listen.
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So, yeah.
Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, he could buy you one also while you're out.
He got me a Lamborghini.
That's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house. And he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Oh, apparently.
On their TikTok of Justin Bieber, again, just 15 years old, in Hollywood, surrounded by a bunch of adults. And you let me know if any of this registers to you as normal. Take a listen.
Wow. I feel violated right now. Wow.
Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. That was bad.
Yeah.
Wow, look at your eyes. Look at what a beautiful face. All right, now it's time to...
Would you rather have to be naked on stage during one full song, or drink a cup of blended worms? Answer, Justin Bieber.
I have like little girl fans. I can't go.
Okay, imagine that wasn't a problem.
No, I got Believe.
Get that off there.
Hey, this is a brand new.
Has your mom given you the sex talk yet? I mean, like, I really don't want to have that conversation with my mother. Yeah. Like, I've kind of had it with my father.
You want to hear? Oh, really? See, my parents never gave me the sex talk.
Okay.
That last one is really just the sickest, asking a young teenage boy whether or not he's had the sex talk. Like, he's doing a media hit on a radio, and she's asked.
Diddy's empire is unraveling piece by piece, and a long-buried truth is finally coming to light, one that can no longer be ignored. What once seemed like playful banter and harmless showmanship now carries a far darker weight when viewed in the full context. This is a story about a boy who should have been protected but was instead thrust into the orbit of one of the most powerful figures in the music industry, and about how the industry looked the other way, shielding the wrong person. When Justin Bieber first appeared on the scene, he was just a kid with a guitar and a dream. His early YouTube videos captured the world's attention, catapulting him overnight into the spotlight as one of music's most talked about young stars. But that innocence didn't last. The shadows of those around him quickly began to close in. At only 15, Justin found himself entangled in Diddy's world. Footage from that period, once dismissed as quirky or entertaining, now casts a chilling light on their interactions. One particularly unsettling clip shows Diddy confronting Bieber about not answering his phone. Justin, visibly nervous, explained that he didn't even have Diddy's number. He tried to laugh it off, attempting to ease the tension, but the imbalance of power was impossible to ignore. This wasn't a friendly chat between equals. It was pressure placed on a teenager still learning who he was.
Because I think if a victim comes out against Usher, it'll show how egregious it is. Because if he can be a predator, then anybody can be a predator.
Can't smile in your face the whole time.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, people look at Usher, they don't see that. They're not seeing the victim. They're not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship.
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you haven't. I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
He was a teen expected to navigate the weight of an adult's influence. To the outside world, it might have looked like harmless joking, but the reality is far more disturbing when you see it through Justin's eyes. Another clip casts an even darker shadow over the story. On camera, Diddy openly boasted about having Bieber in his company for 48 hours. He smiled as he described it to the world, framing it as a young boy's dream. At the time, it seemed like a quirky, eccentric joke, just part of the showmanship. But in light of ongoing lawsuits and mounting testimonies, that footage is being seen in a very different light. It no longer feels playful. It feels like a glimpse into something that had been hidden in plain sight. This wasn't just about casual time together. Diddy even compared his interactions with Bieber to how he once had guardianship over Usher early in his career. That comparison is significant because legal filings and reports have since painted a troubling picture of those past
come to audition for you, right?
Actually, with a few people. My wife at the time.
Right.
It also was Perry Reed, L.A. Reid's first wife.
So you were all sitting in a room somewhere?
We were in a room.
Yeah.
And I showed her the video. And Perry says, "Are you crazy? You better get down there and meet this kid right now. He's amazing."
When all these pics come out and all this stuff with Bieber's big penis, are you the mastermind behind that? Say, listen, show off your big penis and people will come to those concerts? Or are you sitting there?
Is that the kind of manager he's doing?
Usher, are you sitting down with him and saying, yeah, show your cock, or leave it in your pants? I mean, do you sit him down and say, look, part of this is PR,
Hey,
man.
by the way, he does have a brain of his own.
Yeah, but were you shocked at the size of his penis?
Hey, listen, he has a mind of his own. What he chose to do with his penis is his prerogative. He's
videos of Justin Bieber being handed over to him at age 15. Great job. Great job. And for his weekend with Diddy camp. I mean, we don't know, but it certainly looks like Justin Bieber is still suffering the fallout from whatever happened to him as he was coming up the ranks of the music world. It really doesn't seem worth it. I mean, I'd love to hear more from his camp about what's real, because it's clear he's suffering. We just don't know from what. And what mother out there would give her 15-year-old boy over to a grown man who's in the rap industry?
Relationships. What was once framed as mentorship now appears as manipulation. And the music industry, by turning a blind eye and normalizing such behavior, allowed warning signs to go unheeded, raising serious questions about what was tolerated behind the scenes. The most heart-wrenching part of this story is Justin Bieber's own reflection years later. In a 2020 interview, he broke down in tears while talking about Billie Eilish, saying he felt a deep need to protect her from the experiences he endured. He never named Diddy, but the weight of his words spoke volumes. His voice trembled as he described the harsh reality of being so young in an industry where those around you, who claim to care, can turn away in an instant. That was the unspoken truth. Bieber's childhood in music was stolen from him. Footage from those years shows him at parties, sitting beside stars like Trey Songz and Odell Beckham Jr., but the boy fans thought they knew was nowhere to be seen. His eyes appeared glassy, his demeanor distant, and he seemed out of place, far from the carefree teenager everyone imagined. Lawsuits and reports have suggested that drinks at Diddy's parties were sometimes tampered with, that substances could be given without consent. When you view Bieber in that context, the footage takes on a chilling new meaning. This wasn't a young star enjoying the highs of—
Just like it wasn't seminal fluid that Justin Bieber was wiping away from his mouth when he brought his face up from Odell Beckham's groin in a club with Trey Songz on the lookout.
The images are there.
Diddy-fied. Flown out to Atlanta by a manager. His name's Scooter Braun. Flown out to Atlanta just to meet with him and meet different producers and different people. I was actually going to meet Jermaine Dupri at his studio. And who rolls up? Usher in his Range Rover. Rolls up, and I was like, "Is that who I think it is?" And Scooter was like, "Yeah." And so I ran up to him and I was like, Usher, I love your songs. You want me to sing you one? And he was like, let's just go inside, little buddy. It's cold out. So the politest possible way he could say no, he did. And I was like, wow, he just turned me down. And I was a little disappointed. He had to go into a studio session, so I was like, whatever. And a week later, he actually watched my videos with my manager and was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I let him sing? So flew me back to Atlanta where I got to meet him again. And he wanted to sign me. But there was something else.
Justin Timberlake, right?
Yes, Justin Timberlake also wanted to sign me. It was like kind of like what happened was Justin Timberlake and Usher both went into a ring and boxed.
Fame. This was a teenager trying to survive in a world he should never have been exposed to. A world where his safety and innocence were overlooked for the sake of showbiz. And the adults around him? They stayed silent. Managers, agents, executives, people who should have stepped in to protect Justin, chose self-preservation over responsibility. They saw the warning signs but looked away. Why? Because maintaining access to power and safeguarding their own careers mattered more than the life of a child. The industry laughed when Diddy boasted about having Bieber in his custody. They cheered when he pressured the young star for more time. Cameras rolled and no one asked the difficult questions. That silence was not ignorance, it was complicity. The media played its part too. Outlets that once celebrated Diddy's larger-than-life antics now rewrite history, acting as if they never noticed the danger. They published glowing profiles, praised extravagant parties, and ignored the red flags staring them in the face. And now, as lawsuits surface, they want to claim innocence. But the truth is undeniable. They failed Justin. They failed every young artist who trusted them. Bieber's story is unique because his fame was global, and his interviews, footage, and public presence left a trail the world could follow. But how many others didn't survive to tell their story? How many voices were silenced before anyone could listen? That is the heavy question hanging over this scandal. Bieber may have survived, but survival does not erase trauma. The testimonies are clear, the lawsuits real. And when paired with the footage of a young Justin navigating Diddy's world, the reality becomes undeniable. This was no accident. Diddy created a space where he was untouchable, and where vulnerable stars had no way out. Even now, as his lawyers scramble and former allies distance themselves, the empire he built is crumbling. Each resurfaced clip, each new testimony, each detail from court filings is another crack in the foundation. For decades, the industry shielded him, but silence can no longer protect him. The most devastating part isn't just what happened to Justin. It's that it happened at all. A child, thrust into the spotlight, was treated as an opportunity rather than a human being. His nervous laughs weren't jokes, they were survival. His forced smiles weren't charm. They were shields against a world that offered no escape. Watching those moments now is unbearable, and it should be. They should haunt every executive who stayed quiet, every media outlet that celebrated Diddy's bravado, and everyone who prioritized fame and money over a child's safety. This sorry isn't just about Diddy. It's about an entire system that allowed him to thrive unchecked. Hollywood has long depended on silence, fear, and power, where wealth is valued more than morality. And until that system is dismantled, another young star could face the same nightmare Justin endured. Diddy may still have his fortune. He may still have lawyers. But he no longer has the one thing that sustained him for decades: silence. The truth is out, the footage exists, and Bieber's tears from that 2020 interview remain undeniable. The empire is cracking. Not from a single lawsuit or clip, but because the truth finally has a voice. And this is just the beginning. When the collapse is complete, it won't be Diddy alone in the ruins. It will include every person who protected him instead of protecting the children who trusted them. Justin Bieber survived, built a career, and found his voice, but he should never have had to endure any of it. That is the tragedy. That is the lesson. And that is why this story can never be forgotten. Today we are diving into one of the most shocking and heart-wrenching stories in recent pop culture history. A story that has resurfaced after years of being buried under glitz, glamour, and power in the music industry. We are talking about Justin Bieber, Diddy, and a disturbing revelation from Bieber's past that has left even political commentator Candace Owens visibly shaken. This is not just a story about celebrity antics or viral moments. It's about a young boy thrust into a world he was never prepared for, surrounded by people who should have protected him but chose silence instead. And now, decades of showmanship, lawsuits, and resurfaced footage are revealing a chilling truth. What was once framed as mentorship or fun was, in reality, an environment rife with exploitation and pressure. Recently, Candace Owens appeared on a live stream reacting to footage of a young Justin Bieber talking about Diddy. In that footage, which resurfaced amidst ongoing lawsuits, Diddy openly boasted about having Bieber with him for 48 hours. At the time, many saw it as a harmless joke, part of the mogul's larger-than-life persona. But Owens' reaction tells a different story. As she watched, Owens visibly struggled to process what she was seeing. Her voice trembled, and she admitted on camera that she couldn't imagine a 15-year-old being subjected to such an environment. She explained how the dynamic between Diddy and Bieber was not that of friends or colleagues. It was one of extreme power imbalance. A young boy, still finding his identity, was being pressured and influenced by someone with decades of control in the music world. Her breakdown wasn't about celebrity gossip. It was about the injustice, the exploitation, and the systemic failures that allowed a child to be put in harm's way. She emphasized how shocking it is that an entire industry, along with media outlets, normalize this behavior rather than questioning it. The footage in question shows a young Justin Bieber at parties and events, surrounded by some of the biggest names in entertainment. On the surface, it appears like any other celebrity gathering, but anyone paying close attention can see the subtle signs. Bieber's eyes glassy, his demeanor anxious, and a clear sense of discomfort. In one particularly chilling clip, Diddy confronts Bieber about not answering his phone. Justin nervously explains that he doesn't have Diddy's number, awkwardly laughing to defuse the tension. To the untrained eye, it might look like a playful exchange, but the body language tells a different story. This was a teenager under pressure, unsure how to navigate an adult world dominated by influence and power. Another clip makes the situation even more alarming. Diddy openly bragged about having custody of Bieber for 48 hours. He compared it to his past guardianship of Usher during the early days of Usher's career. At the time, this was framed as mentorship, eccentricity, or entertainment. But with lawsuits, testimonies, and resurfaced footage, it now reads as something far more sinister. Manipulation of a child, normalized by a culture that protected the powerful rather than the vulnerable. The most heartbreaking aspect of this story is Justin Bieber's own reaction years later. In a 2020 interview, Bieber broke down while speaking about the pressures of being a child star. Though he never mentioned Diddy by name, his words spoke volumes. He described the fear and isolation he felt as a young teenager surrounded by adults